Friday Night SmackDown. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Matt Morgan, here to talk about everything that happened tonight. Interesting show. Kind of eventful in some ways. In other ways, I felt it was a bit of a letdown after how great last week's episode was.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, right? I mean, it's almost like that idea. And Matt, you know this idea. There's a certain mindset where people are like, "Hey, never do too good at your job, because then if you really overperform, they're just going to expect that from you all the time."
Yeah.
It's that idea that they gave us something great last week, and now tonight it's like, oh, these are just regular old crackers. It just wasn't nearly as exciting.
Nope, I agree.
But that being said, there was some stuff that I liked tonight. We got to see Bayley cutting promo like she's double heel now after she turned on Sasha last week and beat her down. We got to see her explanation. We got to see a new member of the Firefly Funhouse tonight. We got to see more
Sister Abigail.
Yes, the turn of Alexa Bliss.
That to me was the best part of the show for me.
That was really cool. I mean, that was like just fully cemented where they've been leading things with her. We also have a new number one contender for the SmackDown Women's title. A whole lot going on. So, I mean, let's hop into it. And what do you think about this angle, this opening promo with Roman Reigns out there with Paul Heyman and face-to-face with Jey Uso, Roman's cousin, that he's facing at Clash of the Champions on September 27th for the WWE Universal title. What did you think of this heat? And Roman even saying like, hey, I'm going to whoop you. Like I still love you, but this could be like when we're kids and I beat your ass. Like, this is a different angle for a championship title feud.
It is, and I don't know, does part of me want Roman just be full fire heel right now, you know what I mean? Just throwing out fire bombs at his opponent of just pure hatred and heel heat? Yeah, a little bit, maybe. Because I've been waiting years for it. But it's a family relative, a family member. It makes sense for him to be transitioning into this character. The fact that Paul is with him tells us this guy is a villain now. So let's enjoy the ride. I'm hearing a lot of rumors. I'm sure you have too. People are trying to insinuate, I don't know if this is true or not, but that somehow they're going to reenact the finger poke of doom at the pay-per-view, where Uso will just take the loss and join Roman and Paul Heyman, and they will create a faction together.
The Tribe.
Yeah, the Tribe.
I mean, it's interesting. It's really interesting, this pairing. And does it seem to you like Paul Heyman seems more subservient to Roman than he did to Brock? Because I felt like with Brock, they were peers. He was more like Brock's sidekick. And Paul almost felt like Roman's lackey a little bit tonight.
Which is good. It's a good wrinkle, actually, that makes Roman even more legitimate to me.
Yeah.
Made him feel like a bigger star. Made him feel like a bigger dick, too, in a way.
Yeah.
Because we all privately, even though Paul Heyman's a heel, we all like Paul Heyman, I think.
And it's interesting what they did with the Firefly Funhouse later tonight, which kind of planting the seeds for where they're going to go beyond Clash of Champions, which I thought was cool. I mean, there was stuff that I liked. I think, look, man, stuff. You get that tag main event. First off, tag main event.
Yeah.
Right there, it says screams we're phoning this in.
Yes.
The stuff with Otis and the lunchbox. And like I would say like that makes Looney Tunes seem sophisticated. I feel like Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote has more cerebral chases.
Like so like Hornswoggle could not run into enough walls. Okay. Versus this is exactly what this was tonight. It's such crap.
And Shinsuke and Cesaro always bringing it. Street Profits great backstage, but against the Lucha House Party, it's just not A-level matchups. So Chrono shot with a $5 super chat saying, happy belated birthday to Matt. That's right. Yesterday, Matt Morgan turned 44 years old. Everybody sing happy birthday at the podcast. We're not going to do it here live. Just take a moment, sing it there. Matt's 44 years old. And Chrono also saying, as the second biggest John Silver mark, because Matt is number one, yes, John Silver should do a political endorsement of Matt. You should hook that up.
God knows with what he would say, though. I'd probably get in trouble because he's hilarious. This guy, his stuff he does. You guys got to check him out.
Neo Cure saying, should the Dark Order endorse Mayor Matt Morgan? Well,
Specifically, John Silver.
Specifically. And Dustin Nick, $5 saying, LOL, I wouldn't doubt that was Vince's voice actually doing the Vince style at the Firefly Funhouse segment. And did you catch Miro in the audience at the Clipper Nugget game? So that's right. So Miro debuted on AEW Wednesday night on Dynamite. I saw that on my social feed. How was that, Matt?
It was cool. It was cool. They said, the announcers was going crazy, like, oh my God, these fans are so loud for this. I kept watching it back and back and back. I tried to watch it with headphones in on my phone. I tried to watch it on my TV again. I'm like, they weren't going that boinkers for it. I'm not trying to be a hater, but I'm happy for him. I think he'll be great with AEW, and we'll see what he does. I like his new look, new bleach blonde hair. Looks different.
But did he really come out and cut a brass ring promo?
Okay, yes, it's been done to death. We know this. We do know this, but you guys don't understand when you leave that company, and I was only there for 3 or 4 years before I left. It felt like a lifetime, and you feel like you have this weight off your shoulders, and you want to be yourself so bad because you want to show all these wrestling fans that crap you saw me doing. You guys have no idea how much better I can do than that. That was garbage. They made me be stuck in this lane. That's not who I am. Let me show you guys who I really can be. Yeah, and that is the best feeling for a talent. I can't even begin to tell it to you. It replaces money. It's why I didn't go back to WWE and why I stayed in TNA, because it's a feeling. You love going to work. You love it, and you're passionate about wrestling again. Being a little 6-year-old boy sitting, crisscross applesauce on your kitchen floor watching wrestling on a Saturday mornings. You flash back to that of why you wanted to do this to begin with, and you could see that from Miro when he did come out. So yes, he did the stupid brass ring,
Which
stuff.
Aren't you glad that wasn't a thing? Isn't it good that wasn't a thing when you left WWE?
Oh, it was. I was there for his very first brass ring speech. In fact, backstage. Swear to God.
Well, but it wasn't lampshaded so much in everybody's promo when they left.
No, this is true.
Yeah, it was after CM Punk really
yes.
brought the phrase to fruition in the pipe bomb promo that everybody, I mean, even Damian Sandow in his first TNA promo talking about the brass ring.
He told us Shelton Benjamin grabbed the brass ring in our very first brass ring conversation or speech he gave the locker room. And they didn't do anything with Shelton after that. So it's just like, it even started back then, like as far as it's just bullshit.
And to Justin's point, I don't know if that's Vince's voice doing the doll, but obviously Vince finds it funny. I mean, tonight there was a lot of meta humor there, and we'll talk about that. I thought it was really good. Antoine Fair, $5 saying, Roman's looks of "you are so beneath me" and smugness are awesome. They definitely throttle down for a slow burn with Roman. I mean,
that's a good call. That's what I was saying just before. Let's enjoy the ride of him. He's still transferring over to heeldom right now, I feel. And normally I like them to be heel right away, but for Roman, I'm enjoying this slow burn, like you said, of getting there.
And Antoine Fair with a $5 super chat again, saying singing happy birthday to Matt. So there, Antoine Fair.
Antoine. Thank you.
Speaking of birthdays, every time I hit a new age milestone, think more and more about childhood and how long ago things were. It really takes you back. And I know I sent you that link to that 80s commercial channel on YouTube. It's like watch that, you think of the nostalgia, and it makes me think about the sponsor of tonight's episode, which is Magic Spoon, because that really just takes you back, right? Growing up, breakfast cereal was one of the best parts of being a kid, but you give it up when you get older. Your palate becomes a little more sophisticated, supposedly. You realize that it's full of stuff you shouldn't be eating. It's got all this carbs, this sugar. It's so unhealthy. And you think, oh, I'm a grown-up. I can't eat this anymore. Magic Spoon has taken all the beauty, all the magic of childhood breakfast cereal, and they've reinvented it with a formula that has 0 sugar, 11 grams of protein, and only 3 net grams of carbs in each serving. And it comes in 4 flavors: cocoa, fruity, frosted, and blueberry. And these are all based on the classic flavors. You can imagine Frosted's like Frosted Flakes. Blueberry's like, oh, Boo-Berry. Remember Boo-Berry?
Yes, that's the way I related it. Yes.
Fruity's like Fruit Loops, Cocoa's like Cocoa Pebbles. And I remember as a kid, we occasionally would get a box of Fruit Loops. And I had 2 brothers. We were fighting over it. It was like Lord of the Flies, because for the most part, I grew up eating the breakfast cereal that a middle-aged woman, like with Crispix and maybe shredded wheat if we were lucky. And I loved when I would sleep over at a friend's house And
Dude,
be like, oh my God.
I used to pour the old school. Remember the old school sugar containers that were on your kitchen table?
Yeah.
That you take a spoon, put it in, take your big scoop full of sugar, and put it over your cereal. I used to take the whole container, dump it upside down, to put it on my Crispix because of how nasty Crispix was.
Oh, yeah.
But back to this.
Magic Spoon.
Magic Spoon, I've actually been using this and eating this. This is actually really good, no joke. The fact that they have 11 net grams, like my wife still doesn't believe that could be accurate.
Because, that much protein's insane for cereal.
But 11 grams of proteins is off the chain. But the 11 net grams for carbs for cereal is unheard of. It's one of those deals where something is usually high protein like this. They usually make up for the taste on the back end somewhere in there with some type of sugar integration or carb integration somewhere in there. Not with Magic Spoon. And the best part is you legit really feel like you're eating and you're cheating on your diet. Someone like me that eats immaculately, you guys have no idea like how much. I got 4 boxes sent to me. I'm already gone. We're done. Me and my wife have been demolishing it.
The Fruity box disappeared the day it showed up in this house. I looked at my wife and I was like, somebody likes this cereal.
Frosted's mine. Frosted's best. I love Frosted.
Oh, God, I remember when I was a kid and I got to sleep over at a friend's house and tried Blueberry for the first time.
Oh,
I remember.
Blueberry's so good.
Oh, that's why as a kid I used to covet when you'd be in a situation you get those little variety packs, the 6-pack of the Kellogg's. You get to try all the cereals your parents would never buy for you. Magic Spoon was like that. You're an adult. You can buy your own cereal now. And the great news is this is keto friendly. It's gluten free, grain free, soy free, low carb, GMO free. It tastes amazing. So Frosted's Matt's Jam, like I said, Fruity goes so fast in this house. And we've got a special deal for our audience. If you go to magicspoon.com/WINC, you're going to grab a variety pack, try it today, and when you use our promo code WINC, you're going to get free shipping at checkout. And Magic Spoon's so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So, hey, if you buy this, you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. That's magicspoon.com/WINC, WINC. Use that code WINC for free shipping. We thank Magic Spoon for sponsoring the podcast. Everybody that tries this stuff loves it and lives by it. You're going to dig it. Let us know what you think. magicspoon.com/WINC. And we thank them for sponsoring the Wrestling Inc. podcast. And I love when I eat great cereal, sweet cereal. It just takes me back. It makes me feel like it's Saturday morning, every morning.
Yes, seriously. We had all the time in the world to sit there and devour that box.
Fantastic. It's great stuff. Justin Lopez, $4.99, asking, you think Roman will be getting cheers if arenas were full right now?
I do.
Really?
I think he'd have a holy shit chant when he came out with Heyman, for instance, for the first time. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. Yes, he would, especially with Uso being his first opponent, potentially. That promo, I could see him getting cheers. But other than that, I don't know.
Elix Brand making my wishes come true, saying, hey guys, short-time viewer, first-time super chatter. Roman should have never tagged with Jay. You never see Brock tag with anyone, even if it was quick. That's where I feel, and they have this problem with Asuka tagging with Mickey on Raw. I don't like seeing opponents being too buddy-buddy. It takes and in the case of Roman and Jay, they should be keeping them not even in the same arena, given that they're related to one another. Like, you have to build a rivalry. You have to build heat, even if it's friendly.
I agree. Again, goes two ways. One, a slow burn where he's going to have a ton of heel heat for beating up his own blood, his own relative at the pay-per-view. Or two, like I said, it's all a ruse, and the Usos become, like I said, the tribe, a faction. Finger poke of doom.
It's Z $5 saying, after the Clash of Champions, I see Roman disrespecting the Samoan dynasty, leading the returns of the OGs Rikishi, Alpha, Sika for segments and eventually leading to a Rock return. I don't know if they're going that far.
I could see Rock, obviously, eventually. I do. I could.
Not
Rock's
the other stuff. Tweet about it. Rock's going to promote it. But Rock's showing up for, this is Clash of the Champions. This isn't SummerSlam or even
not
Survivor
Clash,
Series.
Not a Clash of Champions, but eventually with Roman's new heel character, because don't get it twisted. Rock was in the ring for the first time in his career since he first got on the scene as a babyface, and they were chanting "Die Rocky Die." Like, he was in the middle of an arena raising somebody's hand to try to get that guy over, and they were booing the talent still. The Rock couldn't get him a cheer. Don't don't kid yourself. The Rock will never forget that. And I think he'll, now that he sees Roman that's doing really good, he's going to want to come and help further it. My opinion.
Terry Allen Jr., 547. Happy birthday, Matt. Tomorrow will the family go inside the restaurant? Matt, what'd you do to celebrate your birthday?
Tomorrow will the family go inside the restaurant?
I thought it was code. Is this a Longwood friend?
I don't know what restaurant's talking about.
I don't know.
Sorry, Terry Allen, but thank you for saying happy birthday.
What did you do for your 44th?
I'm here right now for it. That's where I am. I was supposed to go out to dinner with my lovely wife, but
he said no. He said the Wrestling Inc. podcast
Here I am,
too
folks.
important to me. This audience is too important. We can celebrate my birthday any day.
I did
this podcast only happens on Fridays and Mondays and Wednesdays and the occasional Saturday or Sunday.
I did say this all. He's correct. Last night I had a commission meeting. So it was an off night for us to have a commission meeting on a Thursday night, but we had to because Mondays it was canceled because obviously Labor Day. But so really hadn't had a chance to celebrate it yet. So maybe this weekend.
Sami Zayn was in the production truck before the AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy Intercontinental title match, really telegraphing what was going to happen. But before Sami broke up this match, what did you think of this and this matchup and the potential for the triple threat we're going to get at Clash of Champions?
I'm friends with Jeff. I love Jeff Hardy. Of the three, he's the less exciting person in this three-way. But thank God it's a three-way because now it's more exciting for me now. I think it's interesting. I think it's going to be a great match. I think it's going to be a very good match. Could be a potential show stealer, actually.
Yeah, I think, these three guys can work.
They all could.
Business, and they just got to keep it fresh because we got 2 weeks from Sunday for Clash of the Champions. So they got to keep, don't give this away for free on TV. This has pay-per-view. This could steal the show.
Yes.
Cesaro and Shinsuke versus the Lucha House Party with Ford and Dawkins, the Street Profits backstage.
I hate Lucha House Party. I'm sorry.
And they won. They won tonight.
Which makes no sense to me. But what do I know? I'm just not entertained with them. I just never am. And Cesaro and company have been doing a really good job. I don't get it. I don't get it. You wonder why talents don't get over because of this. Because of this 50-50 booking. It's frustrating.
I agree. And the Lucha House Party, I think that there's only so much we can do to take them seriously. I can't come back from it. If they split them up, you could actually have some good one-on-one rivalries that would make it, I think, be more interesting than just what we're seeing. I feel like as characters, they're so underdeveloped. Because you could say, yes, I agree with that. Because you could say, oh, Grand Metalik. He was the star of the bunch. He's not the reason they kept losing and doing jobs for years. When he breaks out into a singles act, you know what I mean? And that could be you could say the same thing about any three of them if you make them into singles. So I see. Yeah, you could. I agree with that. But they got to do something because now they're just. They're enhancement talent. They definitely are. That's why I've always seen them as, and I can't come back from it. That's why I guess I don't like them. Yeah, and it's weird pandering too, right? It's sort of like we know this will appeal to people that like lucha style wrestling, so let's give them a piñata to go out there with. It's very hokey. Is there anybody anybody that makes them like the show better? We need to make sure that we're pandering to our Mexican demographic, and that you're insulting the Mexican demographic with that crap. Yeah. They don't care. They just want to see good. Nobody of any different demographic, any denomination, any background. They just want to be entertained. No, I agree. And I feel like they've always had that problem because what was it before? When they had Los Matadores, they used to have just the lucha style battle each other. They couldn't even get in feuds with other teams. So I guess it's not that bad. But yeah, it's very yeah. And if you remember, they did the same thing for a while there with Lucha House Party. They were only working each other, if you remember, for a while there until they formed that group. Yeah. They got to do something. So Steezy Preezy Buck 99 saying Miss SmackDown tonight. Did I really miss anything? I mean, there were some
There was
good
a couple
highlights.
of things. There were some cool things. Go on YouTube, watch the highlight version of it. I suggest. Don't watch the whole show.
But one last thing on Lucha House Party. I really like Lucha style wrestling. I think these guys are actually hugely talented. And I remember like when Grand Metalik debuted, like these guys have a really good look, but when you put them together and you give them pinatas and you make it silly, like it becomes a caricature and you don't take it seriously.
Of course. How could you take it seriously? That's 100% right, Glenn. 100% right. And they jobbed to everybody for the longest. That's why I have a hard time coming back and taking them seriously. I'm sitting there scratching my head going, normally like, oh, cool. They're giving the guy underneath guys an opportunity. This is cool. This could be exciting. No, not after 3 years. Not for me. It's not. And it pisses me off because it hurts that other talent that I think needs these wins. The Cesaros of the world. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I liked when Kalisto and Sin Cara had the entrance with the trampoline. Like you weren't supposed to know it was a trampoline, but it looked cool.
Dude, Sin Cara's entrance was so over with me. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Garris Plowman, Australian $2.99. Ooh, from down under. Booking Sasha versus Bayley at Mania. Have Sasha win the Royal Rumble. I mean, that's the popular speculation right now.
It's a good, great money match.
No, I agree. So speaking of which, Bayley came out to the ring carrying the same beat up steel chair she used on Sasha Banks last week. Loud boos being piped in, of course, from the fans in the Thunderdome. We saw. I don't like when they do the entrance, then the recap. Like she comes in, she's going to talk. Nope. Now we're going to see a 3-minute video that says,
yes, that's a little weird.
But she took the mic, said people are asking how Sasha's doing when she'll be back, but no one's asking her how Bayley feels. And Bayley asked if we think she enjoyed it. And then she basically laid out this whole plan that she's been using Sasha for the longest time. And this was all part of her Machiavellian plan. I mean, I don't know if I buy all of that given the way that it developed, but one thing that really, really excites me about this is that, Sasha Banks always going to have swagger. She's never going to be the underdog, but I like this reverse dynamic that Bayley's going to be the bully and Sasha's going to be the babyface when she returns, because it's the exact flip of what we saw in NXT with Bayley as the babyface and Sasha as the villain. So I think it's going to be fantastic. But what do you think about Bayley's promo tonight? Some people online were saying, this almost would have been better if they would have taped it and done another take.
Why?
I think that, so I was thinking about this, and I was thinking that you could tell she was nervous. At one point, I think she even referred to herself as Two Belt Banks, like when she was rattling off like the list of accomplishments. I may have misheard that, but it seemed to be like she was just like, how sometimes you could tell, and I've heard this with, all sorts of performers. This has happened in NXT. It's happened on the main roster. It's happened with men. This has happened with women.
Wow.
Sometimes you can hear in a performer's voice, like, I'm aware how important this promo is to my career, and I just need to almost get through it. And it's going to be great when they show the clips of it in the highlight reels, all the way to my Hall of Fame induction down the line. But right now you can almost see like they're almost aware they're living through a pivotal moment in their own personal history. And I can sense that they're getting up in their head a little bit when they're delivering it.
Maybe I got to watch it again. I liked her promo tonight. I thought it was good.
It was good. I just think that did she knock it out of the park? I'd give it probably like a B+ or an A-. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I wanted it just to be that A+. And Justin Lopez is saying, I'm correct. She flubbed a couple of lines, but she was still strong. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not bad. It was an A- or a B+, but for Bayley, I want everything Bayley does to be an A+. I want that for all my favorite performers. So Elizabeth Fox, $5 saying happy birthday.
Thanks, Liz. Thanks, Liz.
I feel like they just recycled a Roman did it payback. Also, while we were all as equals Paul Heyman in puppet form. Hashtag all saw tonight. We'll talk about that. But with Bayley and Sasha, where they're going with this, having Bayley beating up Nikki winning the 4-way to become the number 1 contender. How long do you think Sasha, they keep her off TV until the Rumble?
If they're going to Mania, I don't think that's a bad idea.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. But they're also depriving themselves of the beatdown. I don't know if you saw this, but the beatdown with Bayley turning on Sasha. It's like the most viewed YouTube clip like it's probably the highest rated individual segment in recent memory the WWE has done when you combine the ratings last week. And Sasha and Bayley have been carrying a lot of WWE TV. I think with Roman back, now they feel like maybe they can give that up a little bit.
Yeah, because the payoff will be worth it to get, to really have Sasha come back as a really smoking, ready to go, ready to kick-ass take name babyface. I think with time off, the heart will grow fonder for missing her. Fans have always been wanting to cheer her for quite a while anyway, so make them wait a little bit more, especially if you're going to get us through Mania.
Steve Marcuccioli, $4.99, asking which match is more desired, heel Roman versus face Rock or heel Cena versus face Austin?
Second of the two. Wait. Yeah. Cena versus face. Or Cena versus Austin.
It's interesting they didn't go more. And remember after WrestleMania and how Undertaker did so great in that Boneyard match, we were saying, oh, now Sting could come back. Now Austin could come back. We could do these cinematic matches, protect these guys.
They haven't done it yet.
Yeah, they haven't gone all in on that. I think it just goes to show. I mean, for Vince, I think the fans are everything. And I think the Thunderdome is, he probably kicks himself for not thinking of it sooner.
Give me 1 second. Okay, I apologize.
Yeah. Chris Lau, $5, saying about the Bayley promo, it would have been better if she said she's tired of being in Sasha's shadow, like how we said that at the start of her heel turn. It's true. She could have come out and said, she could have just, said, you think that I'm the wind beneath your wings, but Sasha, you're the wind beneath my wings. And then she started singing the song, said it must have been cold there in my shadow, and just gone full Bette Midler. I think that's really what the audience was hoping to see tonight. And by that regard, WWE let us down. Thank God Matt's not here listening to this. Bear Hudson, $10. How is it that other people can get multiple title opportunities, but Naomi's barely on TV? Same goes for Bianca Belair. I don't want to start trouble, but is race a factor at all? If not, then what? I agree with you, Bear. I think with Naomi, they've slept on a babyface that has had more organic interest than perhaps any other talent this year. If you look at the clips of her in the Royal Rumble, the way that what she does goes viral beyond wrestling fans. I mean, it's just bad business that they have not capitalized on that. And with Bianca Belair, I mean, we've talked about that Bianca Belair is not a future superstar. She's a superstar right now. She's got the swagger, the charisma. Checks all the boxes, I think, for being a top woman in WWE. And if not race, I'd say it even goes beyond race, though. And Matt, I'm sure you'd back me up on this. Vince has a certain type that he likes in women, and it's not even about skin color. I mean, it's often to look at the amount of blondes that he's pushed proportionate to women with other hair colors. Oh, Matt, we can't hear you. There we go.
So I'm still muted.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you
a
crazy story in 2 seconds. Thank you for bringing Naomi up. You're 100% correct.
Yeah.
100% correct. Can you imagine if they put 20%, just 20% of the energy they do into whomever, you guys can name any talents there, into Naomi, just 20% of what they give others. She can act. She's athletic. She's has the look. She has the promo. She can do everything. But she's never been pushed. Yeah. She's never been pushed and given something legitimate. So right there, that was my neighbor. My neighbor, there was a 7-year-old legitimately walking down the street right now, and I had to go, what in the world are you doing out of your house in your bed right now? You should be in bed. And I walked him back to his home. He's a good boy, but he gives some trouble every once in a while. So, oh my God. I was like, what's this kid doing? Get back. So I apologize for being distracted.
No worries.
I'm like a big brother to him. So, back to Naomi. Is that cool? Just 20%. Just give her an opportunity with something legitimate. Like, you can't say that when she was champion, she didn't get that thing over. I liked the Glow title. People that maybe not like that. I thought it was dope. Her entrance is cool. I'm still waiting to see what her weakness is.
No, I agree. I think she checks all the boxes. I mean, I'm thinking about it, and it's like Sasha certainly had a lot of frustrating setbacks in the way that she was booked, right? I mean, we talk about WrestleMania, Becky versus Sasha versus Charlotte, and who should have won that match. And Charlotte winning at Mania, I mean, to me, just made no sense.
No,
if you looked at Sasha's entrance with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that any woman that's not blonde seems to have to work harder to get Vince's.
That's Vince's type, is blonde hair, blue eye. Everybody knows that. Yes.
And I guess that's how I would probably characterize it the most. I'm not sure it's a race thing. I would just say that if you're a blonde woman that looks like what Vince thinks a female champion should look like, I think you're going to have an easier time than someone who doesn't. And I think we see that down the line. Even like with Nikki Cross, she's getting this title opportunity. She's not winning. I mean, we all know that. And with Bayley, look how much Bayley had to struggle even to get.
But what sucks about this is that I still think Charlotte Flair is the best female wrestler. She'll go down of all time. And I was going to say, well, of course, she has like 3,000 opportunities. You can't watch a match of hers and not walk away and go, holy shit, she's different.
She's really good, but I don't think her character has ever popped. You know, I mean, and we've talked about this before. In this day and age,
has Brock Lesnar's character ever popped to you? His character.
Yeah, when he had the Money in the Bank briefcase. When Brock has fun, I love that guy. When Brock is out there like giggling, like but that's character though, right, Matt? Like to just come out there and be like, I'm a monster, I'm a beast, I'm gonna beat you up because I'm such a badass. Okay, if I want that, I'll watch UFC. Like that's boring to me. It's the year 2020. You have to have shades to be interesting.
What I was gonna say with Charlotte's thing is, I get realism when I watch her. She's better in the ring than all of them. I believe she's a stuck-up snob when she's getting heat on her opponent. She thinks she's better than everybody, and she's more athletic than them. And I don't know. There's just something about it. So like, I hate saying that. Because, yes, she is Vince's type of female superstar that he would generally like to push to the moon, and he has with her. But I don't know. I don't want to talk out of both sides of my mouth on this because I just feel she's different than the rest of the blonde hair, blue eye that Vince would normally try to push and give 1,000 chances to, instead of the others that have had to fight a little bit more. And to be fair, Sasha did struggle. Sasha was on all the damn time. Sasha wasn't sitting at home, okay? We're talking Naomi sitting at home. There's a huge difference there. Naomi's like not even on damn house, like wasn't even getting on house shows for a while either. It makes no sense. And she can wrestle circles around them. She can cut promos around them. I've never understood this. No.
And it's the thing, it's I don't know if it's my place to say that it's race, but I do think that there's a certain type that Vince has. It does seem like there are.
He's already proven this. He's already proven this, guys. Like this is at a point where it's not even, I don't feel even just opinion. I think it's been so many years of seeing him proving this formula of his correct technically. I mean, go back. Yeah. It's just...
Well, and there's just weird shit like we were talking about earlier with Lucha House Party. Like, that's a little too on the nose, right? Like, it does seem a little, like, disrespectful. I think even with the Hurt Business, I feel like it's a little, like, does anyone think it's weird that it's fine if they're the faction, but isn't it weird that they're also only wrestling and in feuds against other African-American, other black talent? Like, isn't it strange to anyone that when we've got like these 3-on-3 matches that, you know what I mean? Like they can't feud or fight with anyone else. Yeah. Like that's where I start to think like, you know, I don't know what the correct way of labeling it is, but it does seem weird to me. It seems off. And I feel like
when you have a roster that's not very, I mean, they're all from different countries. They all have different nationalities and different backgrounds and whatnot. But by the same token, they're not that diverse. So why I never understood, why do they do that? Why not spread the diversity throughout the show? Do you know what I mean? Versus like what you just said. Let's sandbag each division, each segment with the similar people with the similar type background versus space that out. Why not?
It should be like Street Fighter, and I want to see Zangief versus Blanca, and I want to see Guile versus Ryu. I want people from I want diversity in fights because that's interesting, especially when you have people that have different styles, different looks, different characters. Yeah, that's what's interesting about it, you know? And I'll say the same thing too. It's like when you just have people, again, it's even kind of the thing with Roman and Jay. And I'm not saying this from a race point of view. I'm saying this just though, like they're family. They're literally as close as you can get to one another. Like it's not as interesting unless you have a really, really good story. And that's why I used to see that sometimes, like in Kung Fu movies or even in Street Fighter with Ken and Ryu, like we trained together, we came up together. Now we're going to prove who's really the best. Like I think a little bit more of that in Roman and Jay would make it interesting. But yeah, I think different perspectives and different backgrounds is just pure good storytelling. Arian Gomez asking with his super chat, speaking of blondes, who's the mysterious lady? Some people speculating Carmella. I saw people online saying Chelsea Green. I don't think it's a returning Summer Rae. But what did you think from the promo? We saw more of her tonight. We saw her hair. We saw the fur coat. We saw the heels. But we didn't see the face.
I don't know. I don't even want to speculate because I don't know. I want to be surprised like everybody else. But I can't even make a guess on this. I hope it's Chelsea. I like Chelsea Green.
No, I agree. Chelsea would be a good call up, and it would be interesting. Drinking with David, $4.99, saying couple bucks for Raj. Would rather send you guys the dollars directly. Matt and Glenn 2024. That's the insurrection when Raj doesn't show up. We're just giving out Cash App on the air. Be like, pay direct, bypass the fees. Xavier Leone pointing out the video is choppy. I apologize for that. It'll be fine on the replay. Whenever people are having issues with this live, it's always fine on the replay. Lazo Washington pointed out it was MVP's idea with the Hurt Business. I agree. I don't have an issue with the faction, but I'm just saying let them battle other people.
He's saying with who they fight. He didn't say anything about the Hurt Business themselves. He's talking about what we just went off on a 5-minute tangent about creating, spreading it out as far as why is the Hurt Business only working in storylines with other African Americans? Why is, for a while there, Lucha House Party only working in storylines with other luchadors? Like, come on. I'm not saying it's racist, but I'm saying, why would you not want to? We just went over and reiterated, spread that out, create, not just for the sake of creating diversity. Okay, you don't do it because you do it because people are intrigued in that. I'm intrigued by somebody with a completely different background that could kick somebody's ass versus fighter B who look like they can kick somebody's ass who has a completely different background.
It's the definition of segregation, right? So remember when Ray and Humberto Carrillo and Zelina and Andrade were all in the same segments together? Like, that starts to seem weird after a while when you start saying everything you want. Integration, diversity. It's a good thing. Stephen Marcuccioli, $1.99, saying Charlotte versus Tessa or Banks versus Bayley to headline WrestleMania.
Whoa.
Tessa.
Wait, is Tessa signed to WWE? And I don't know.
No, but that's this big speculation.
It's a great match, but right now, I'm sorry, nothing's going to be touching Banks and Bayley right now in the women's division, in my opinion.
Yeah, and as IMR's pointing out, with all this stuff, it's not the writers, it's VKM, Vincent Kennedy, McMahon. Yeah, I mean, I think that is apparent. Although wasn't there the rumors for years that Kevin Dunn didn't like Becky's accent, and that's why she was held back?
That's terrible, if so.
But it just goes to show, though, how personal bias towards anything.
Well, I used to say that actually about Drew. Drew had a hard time understanding. Not saying like Zach's, but I had a hard time understanding him in some of his promos. And I'm like, if I'm sitting here thinking about what did he say, is that hurting him? If that makes, I don't know. Because he has a very thick accent, and has gotten much better.
Well, by the same token, I mean, look at the whole idea of Husky Harris, the idea that like a larger performer has to be, I mean, even with Otis, right? I mean, it is rare to see someone of Otis's size. I mean, Kevin Owens in some ways is sort of an exception that they let him be a badass. But even he's been stuck with like bad comedy, like, big guy fall down, go boom. Bits before. Elix Brand $2 saying they should do an NXT TakeOver Evolution. I think that would be a pretty good way to do it at this point.
That'd be cool. What we have next on the show?
Okay, I know the chat room's live
because we're not getting anywhere on this show.
Well, the number one contenders fatal 4-way: Nikki Cross versus Alexa Bliss versus Tamina Snuka versus Lacey Evans. And before this, we did have Bayley attack Nikki Cross. Look, the standout moment of this, even though this was Nikki Cross's win, we saw Alexa Bliss do Sister Abigail on Nikki Cross. So she's got a couple more dreadlocks in her hair, but this kind of confirms it. This is an all new, all different Alexa Bliss we're watching now.
I dug this. For me, this is my favorite part of the show tonight. If I had to pick one moment, this was it for me. Not that it was huge, huge, huge. It wasn't Bayley turning on Sasha last week or the week before, whenever the hell it was, and killing her leg. But it was still good for me. This was big. I like this.
I think that's the part tonight that people are going to be talking about the most. And I like that they didn't overdo it. You know what I mean? Like they didn't
Yes.
throughout the rest of the show saying, "Oh my God, earlier, let's watch the 8th replay of what this means for Alexa." Like they put it out there. They got people talking about it. It's perfect. It's just enough. Maybe a little more of this actually would have been good though, as opposed to what we saw next, which was Otis versus John Morrison. Like,
Just quickly say who won.
Otis won. Oh, but Miz and Morrison stole the briefcase, or no, they stole the lunchbox.
Lunchbox.
Because that's where he keeps the contract. But oh no, it wasn't that lunchbox. It was now in the other lunchbox inside the briefcase.
Ugh. First of all, do you think John Morrison really thought if he came back to WWE, he'd be losing to this kid from who was at NXT at the time?
Mm-hmm.
Freaking Otis.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? Come on. Enough. John Morrison is a perennial main eventer to me. To me as a fan watching wrestling.
They have not booked him that way.
They have never booked him that way in WWE. I was hoping when he came back, they would. But from his introduction back to the company, it's been downhill since on how they've treated him. And it sucks. But so tonight, I hated this. Sorry.
Nelson Marino, Buck99, is asking again for our thoughts on Miro's debut. We did talk about this earlier in the show, Nelson. I mean, overall, it seems very positive. I only know what I saw online. I think, though, the brass ring thing's got to stop, though.
Yeah, Nelson, it was just a very quick promo. Came out, lit it up. People were very excited about it. I was excited watching it. But, I mean, was no pipe bomb moment. Let's not get crazy here. But hopefully he has a really good run there.
Awaz Rafiq, wishing you a happy birthday, Matt. Just want to
thank you.
Pass that along. And God, people commenting on my shirt tonight. I thought we would throw it back like the early 90s, like in a bad, like, you know, hip hop R&B group.
That's what it looks like. Color Me Bad.
Color Me Bad was so, you know, I took a poll on Twitter asking who was your favorite member of Color Me Bad. Was it Snow? Was it George Michael? Was it Terrence Trent D'Arby? Or was it Kenny G? Which of the four was your favorite of Color Me Bad?
Wait, say all those people's names again?
No, that's who the guys looked like. One guy looked like Snow. One guy looked like George Michael.
So I was like, I didn't know any. How did I not know this? George Michael, he's wrong on. I was thinking right away, but oh wow, okay.
So Snow won in a landslide.
The dude with the George, I was gonna say, I would have thought they would have said the dude with the George Michael 5 o'clock shadow beard.
Yeah, he was number 2, followed by Kenny G, followed by Terrence Trent D'Arby. So there you go. Rich Antonio 499, with Morrison getting beat all the time and making other talent look good, do you guys think he would have been booked better in AEW?
Gee, of course he would, Rich. Yes, he definitely would. No question.
Bear Hudson, $10. Wow, saying, as a black man, when Naomi returned during the Rumble, then started trending for almost a week, I don't know what else to look at but race. Matt Morgan, what do you think she needs to do? Now, I saw some people in the chat speculating she's on the new season of The Masked Singer, and if she is, good for her, because she can sing her ass off. I don't know. Well, we won't know.
Oh, that's right. That's the gimmick of the show. I hope so, though, because she can sing her ass off. She's done what you're supposed to do. She's going out and gotten the hardest part, guys, is going out and getting the reaction, an authentic, organic reaction from the fans, where they're blowing up the comment sections online. They're sending email after email to the office. But more importantly, when she comes out, what do the fans do? They were going boinkers for her. Yeah. Think about it. Especially when she got a really decent opportunity every once in a while. That is supposed to be the gauge. And from that moment on, once you get over, it is their job to crescendo that talent and continue to build and mold and keep fanning the flames of the fans reacting that way to that talent of getting over. This company has been so different in this regard all across the board, not just within Naomi, but all these other talents, Punk, Daniel Bryan, so many talents that organically got over. And the company didn't do crap with it. I'll even throw Zack Ryder into that category, actually, for a while there, where they don't listen. and they know better. So as far as what can Naomi do, she's done. She's changed her look.
Yeah.
She's changed everything when need be. And I don't know. I think it's on us as fans. If I'm being honest, guys, I think it's on us. I think it's got to be one of those things where we just flood their stuff about her.
I mean, for me, I think a good storyline and regular TV time are almost as good as titles, right? And I think that if they're building Bayley versus Sasha for Mania, that spot's taken, right? And if it's going to be Asuka versus someone like Asuka versus Naomi in Mania and Asuka retaining, like, is that good for Naomi, or should Naomi just have like a really hot storyline? And it felt like they were going there with Lacey Evans. I don't know why they dropped that. You know what I mean? Like, I think that there's levels to it. I mean, now I'm not defending WWE at all, but I'm saying coming off of the Rumble this year, they had Becky versus Shayna building for Mania, and they had Charlotte versus Rhea. Charlotte versus Rhea was the right call.
Yes.
Becky versus Shayna could have been maybe.
Yeah.
Becky versus Naomi.
Or one more match with another, with somebody else.
They almost need an Intercontinental Championship. For
I mean, do they though? Because like I could watch Charlotte versus Rhea with no title on the line.
Well, that's true too. Because let me ask you this: is Bayley versus Sasha need a title on the line?
No, not for me. No way. If there was ever two female talents that don't need it in their feud, it is these two. They're best friends. They were enemies. They were best friends. On and off NXT through now. We know these two talents, and we know what their motivations are more than I would argue any other talents at this point.
I agree.
They're incredibly layered.
But unless you're the Undertaker, you don't get to go last at WrestleMania if there's not a title on the line.
Wait. Who said they go last? I'm confused.
You don't think Bayley versus Sasha closes WrestleMania?
No, not with Roman on as a heel. No.
Okay. They're gonna have to compete hard with that to give us a good storyline.
Maybe they will. We don't know. That's too far away to be throwing that out.
I don't know.
What's going to main event WrestleMania? Because what do you do if Undertaker comes back, does a cinematic match? How are you going to feel about your prediction?
Okay. Will the Professor $5? Happy birthday to Matt. They're typing out the lyrics, and he calls you the blueprint.
Will. Thank you, Will the Professor.
So when you go to the Olive Garden or the Chili's with your wife, and she tells the people to sing "Happy Birthday" to you, does she say call them the blueprint? It makes them feel good, like people know the gimmick. Or at Chili's, do they sing it and just say Matt?
They don't sing "Happy Birthday," and we won't know because I did not get to go to dinner tonight with my lovely wife to celebrate my birthday. I'm here.
And restaurants now. I'm just saying we didn't have a pandemic when restaurants couldn't sing "Happy Birthday." They had to make up their own songs. Now they can sing "Happy Birthday," and look what's happened to the world. So thank you to the rights holders who had to win that case. Justin Lopez, $5, saying Asuka should be facing Bianca at Mania. Has basically been a guest star on Raw since she's been called up. I don't know what they're doing with Bianca. That to me is just almost criminal the way that they are not putting her on TV. I mean, forget titles. Like, Bianca is a star.
Big time. Gee, I think. Yes. You're just talking about not needing a talent, not needing a championship to get over. She's that. I'm
saying if you put Bianca and Naomi to an extent, like I like Naomi a lot, but let me just be clear for a second. You could put Bianca on any TV show as Bianca Belair, and I'm watching that show. She could be on Better Call Saul as Bianca Belair, and I'm like, ooh, who's this character? I'm tuning in to watch her every week.
I don't know. I watched Naomi when she was on the E! Channel show too. There's something about her that's lovable. It sucks you in. You really genuinely like her.
You could put Bianca Belair on Game of Thrones, and she'd be the breakout character on Game of Thrones.
Yes, she's funny as hell. She's entertaining. Your eyes stay on her. Her look is different, and she could whip you with the friggin' hair.
Maybe that's different. Part of it. Okay, Naomi, I absolutely love and adore as a person. Bianca, though, is. So, I mean, they're larger than life in different ways, but I'm going to say I think Bianca is more of a character, whereas Naomi, I feel like, is more Naomi. And that's not a bad thing, but I'm just follow my logic on that.
No, it's not. It's not. I know what you're saying. But the talent, we're going to get stuck in this can of worms for far too long. I'll shut up.
Okay, Kathleen Prince, $5. Happy birthday, even though Scotty's banned too. Happy birthday, Matt Morgan. I didn't ban Scotty.
Wow.
And whatever he needs to get reelected, I'll do within reason.
Thanks,
I'm not
Kat.
touching that one.
And something tells me that is not Kathleen, that is Scott using his wife's
There
name.
you go. So Bray Wyatt in the Firefly Funhouse. We got a new character. What was it going to be? Pascale the parrot, the persevering parrot, but I forgot to cut holes in the box. Bray, step one, you cut a hole in the box. We all know this. But no, the parrot died, and then we got brief technical difficulties, but then we got Mr. McMahon coming out, yelling at Wyatt for losing the title and control of the Funhouse, threatened to fire Wyatt if he can't keep the Funhouse together, wanted to introduce him as a special advisor, and it was Wobbly Walrus. From the introduction, this is clearly supposed to be Paul Heyman, but I like this kayfabe, fourth wall breaking, basically like Vince saying Bray couldn't hold it together as the champion. We need to do this. We're trying to micromanage you. I thought this was brilliant, and I can't wait for more of it.
It really was very good. Loved it.
Yeah, it was. Watch this. Look, okay, so tonight, I would say watch Alexa, watch Bray, and I looked at calendar, Matt. Halloween's on a Saturday, but that means we're going to get Friday Night SmackDown on October 30th. Please give us Bray Wyatt and Alexa hosting a Firefly Funhouse edition of SmackDown for Halloween. Let them take over the entire show. I think it'll be the best SmackDown of the year. Antoine Fair asking with his $5 super chat. So here's a question. Do you think they'll say with a 2-night WrestleMania? If they do, yes, Bayley and Sasha can absolutely main event one of the nights. I like the 2-night Mania. I thought it was good.
I did too, actually. Now I think about it, I did too. Yes to that question, then.
And then the final segment. Oh, good Lord. King Baron Corbin and Sheamus versus Roman Reigns and Jey Uso.
Do we care about either of the two heels?
This was a nothing match, and this is what they closed. I mean, whatever. Roman and Jey won. Speared Sheamus for the pin and the win. Roman stood tall, and
also, do we like the fact again that there was two heels in this match? If Roman's heel, why was he wrestling against other heels?
Jey stood next to Roman, raised his arm holding the title. I mean,
I don't like how it made Roman look too baby.
It made it look to me like you're speaking of birthdays. Remember, you get like an RC car for your birthday, and then your younger brother would just look at it like, when do I get to play with it? When do I get to it? You're like, dude, this is my birthday present. You're not playing with it till I'm bored with it. Like it made them look not cool to have this title envy with your family member. I'm telling you, this is a weak thing to build a feud around. It's barely a feud.
It would have been good if it was just about Roman just putting it on his own flesh and blood and beating the brakes off him. Something very graphic. Because again, this is new Roman Reigns. If he'll do this to his own family, what's he going to do to the rest of this roster? Right? That's what they should have continued to do with this. Yeah. But they didn't. But they're not. Maybe it's a slow burn like others are saying. Maybe I need to take my own advice and just enjoy the ride for a little bit and see where it goes.
It's very weird to me that here we have a Roman heel turn, the thing we've all been wanting for such a long time. We get it. Roman is on fire with the character. And now we get this cousin, not even rivalry. Like it's so friendly. It's familial. And I feel like I really hope they pull this off. Otherwise it feels like a speed bump on what should be an amazing heel run from Roman Reigns.
Me too.
So that was SmackDown tonight. What do you give it, Matt?
I give it a 7. 7 out of 10.
Wow. Higher than I thought.
Okay, no. 6.8.
I really like the Alexa stuff. Really like the Firefly Funhouse stuff. I like Bayley's promo. I'm excited for Nikki Cross, even though she's going to lose to Bayley in Clash of Champions. Yes. I liked an hour of this show. And the rest of it, the lunchbox stuff, the main event, I'm good.
So half the show.
Yeah, half the show. So, the glass is half full, though, rather than half empty. So
do you give it a 5?
Well, that would be 50%. Maybe I'll go to a 6. I'll be generous.
Okay.
It was good. But, hey, I don't know if it was like out celebrating your birthday with your family good, but it was good.
Right. Okay. No, definitely wasn't going out celebrating your birthday with your family good. No.
We like to go to Chevy's, and then they have everyone come out and sing, and they put the sombrero on me, and I'm uncomfortable. I'm just like, this is embarrassing for everyone. And the more embarrassed I get, the more my family loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So on that note, he's at BP Matt Morgan. I'm at Glenn Rubenstein. We'll be back here Monday night to talk about Monday Night Raw in your face. Did you catch that tonight? Monday Night Raw is in your face. And they put it on the graphics. In your face, Monday Night Raw.
No, I did not.
So tune in for that Monday. It's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a great weekend. We'll catch you next time on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.